Okay, guys, so what's going on? It's Arcane Duels, I'm Koshade, and I'm here with Puddin' Sharkbait.
Woo!
Yo.
What's up, guys? So we're doing a hype stream for Arcane Duels League Season 2.
League Season 2.
So, Shark, why don't you tell me about the League Season 2?
So, the League Season 2 is the second season of the league that we started, I don't know, 6 months ago
Yeah.
that we
It's
did?
it's been a little while.
Yeah, we had the first run through the league where we had, I believe it was we had 12 participants in two groups of six, and everybody played their way through the group. You played everybody in your group, and the key to this one is that actually you knew what mages you were playing against ahead of time. So that was an interesting wrinkle that everybody seemed to actually really enjoy. We have our typical rules adjustments that we have found to help balance the league. And I think that about wraps up what Season 1 was like. In Season 2, we're running very similarly to Season 1, except a couple new rules to add. So, did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. So I really like that people get to know what kind of mages you play. Just
Yeah, it was a
because
lot of fun.
there's a lot of meta building where you see things in decks that you normally just don't see because you're expecting something out of the other guy, and you also have to think, well, what if they try to counter what I normally do?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Excuse me. Yes, I agree. It was a lot of fun actually to be both the player in that one and to see it happen,
Mm-hmm.
and to see some of the interesting builds that came out of it too.
It's kind of why I like the league format a lot because it's something that you uniquely get online. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
basically, we're looking for one game a week out of each participant, and if you know you're going to be busy, like multiple weeks where you can't play, it's really not the tournament for you. But like in general, if you miss a week and reschedule it for the next week, we can usually make that work. But it's one of those things where if you're new to Octagon or new to Mage Wars, don't feel intimidated by this. Like, please sign up because it's a fun get together. As I said, one day a week of just awesome Mage Wars. And, you might get your video recorded if you wanted for your game. See yourself on
Yep.
stream to analyze yourself. Maybe get other people to analyze your games for you, too. It's one of the cool things about doing an online tournament as well. Plus, it's just really fun to be part of this community, I think.
Yep. I agree. It's a lot of fun for this one. So, in light of that, do we want to go over the changes for Season 2?
Yeah, let's just go over the rules in general, I think. Um, like normal rules and the rules for season 2, because I know we have a lot of new players on our Discord, um, and on the forums as well.
All right. There's a lot of rules to go through for that one.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
um, the big rule change that we're going to try out for Season 2 that I'm just going to start with now is that all mages channel 10. Yes, all of
Yes.
them. There's been
Yes.
a lot of data backing up the fact that 10 channelers have a significant advantage over the 9 channelers, regardless of anything else. And that doesn't mean they're unbeatable, it just means there's a large advantage. We're going to see if this actually changes much. The other part of that, though, is to make the Druid channel 10, Druid will no longer gain channeling from Tree Bond, only innate life and life bond. So,
Yeah,
So that everyone is actually a 10-channel mage.
yes, no pseudo 10s.
yeah. In a lot of the other tournaments, you saw wizards, priestesses, necros, sort of push itself to the top in a way of competitiveness. That's not to say they didn't lose to 9 channel mages, but I'm curious to see if we see more of those 9 channel mages come out. Um, just because like Warlock, I think has a lot of potential, but I think because the channel's 9, a lot of players sort of shoo away from him.
Yep, I can totally see that. It's
So
mm,
I don't know, Puddin, if you want to go over any rules of these, but I was just going to talk otherwise.
No, go for it. It's
Okay,
fine.
yeah, so just some of the basic rules if anyone's new to this sort of thing. The Disciple of Radiance change. It's been proven it's just broken, so it basically works once per round instead of infinite amounts of time. The casting a spell change. Um, It's designed so you can't do things like bring things back from the dead at half costs by not paying the thing and then discarding it. It's a really basic turnaround that a lot of players can abuse, and that's why we have that rules change. For Steep Hill, very few spells go range 3, but there are a few that can. Basically, if you go across, like from corner to corner, you can actually see through a hill, and that's really not within the theme of the card, and it's just kind of just needs to be fixed. Force Pull, so there is some ambiguity in how to interpret it, so we chose one based on community responses, all those things, and that is basically the source of it changes, and this matters for Mind's Eye, so that the Force Master could pull herself, theoretically. And again, that's a lot of these are ambiguity terms that we just made a clarification on through lots of testing, talking to people, things like that. Trample. Technically, if you're flying, you don't actually have to land in order to trample things that are on the ground. So trampling is something that if you would trample something on the ground, you basically have to land first. That matters for things like guards and stuff like that. If you guys want to jump in anytime, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking.
If you're running down, keep going.
Yeah, Symbiotic Orb. Basically, it's an Academy card. So there is no actual defensive avoid attack step. So that was just put in there because it's technically at just any time, which is a weird thing. Because then you can get like double defenses, I think, without it and stuff like that. It's just kind of a really weird rule place where Academy is within Arena. Oh, excuse me. So Burns. It's just a clarification rule. I think most players intuitively know this, but it's basically a flame condition, and it deals direct flame damage. So if you're immune to flame, or if you're immune to fire or burn damage, you won't take damage from burns. I think that matters for like Magma Golem. Dig in and press the attack are worded differently than the other formations. So we just changed it to apply to the zone because it really doesn't make sense that they're not like that. And that's just something that is changed.
It's just better this way.
It's really strong. If you want to try it, it's incredibly powerful if you choose to have your dig in at like the corner and then just be able to do whatever you want up front, or
it also goes against the intent. So
it absolutely does. So the clarification on what are spells is a problem when Swarm came out. So we just wanted to clarify exactly what spells are. Just because creatures and conjurations tend to have issues with them remaining on spells or them not remaining on spells. And that brings us to Swarm, which when it was released, you actually couldn't attack them with creatures because creatures are considered spells. But since they're not attack spells, you literally can't target them with creatures or ballistas or anything really that's on the board. So because of that, we just wanted to change Swarm so that creatures could actually attack it. We also made a minor adjustment based on them not being able to gain life, because that was shown to be just incredibly strong otherwise. It's insane. Like, we probably did 100 games trying to beat it, and maybe we beat it twice. And the times that we did beat it, it was because it was like, well, I'm going to run Swarm Stew. The Embalmed. Basically, we changed the card so that it makes sense. Like, there was a way you could get it infinite loops when it comes to your Necromancer. Also, there's a lot of wondering of, does the enchantment stay on the creature or not? How does it work in terms of, as I said, Eternal Servant, things like that. Also with Swarms, there was just a lot of issues with the Embalmed. So we just clarified the rules. And if anybody has questions when hearing this, feel free to just comment below. And I can answer you on YouTube or whatever. Or just bring it up in Discord. And that's the rules.
We're here available for questions. So, actually, there have been a couple of clarifying questions asked already. Just to
Sweet.
make sure that we clarify everything. So the clause in Swarm is causing a little bit of confusion that flying creatures will be able to attack. Basically, anything can attack swarms because the clause that says cannot be targeted by non-attack actions or spells is basically to imply that all attacks can target the swarm, regardless of the source.
Yeah, the
Right.
term attack action actually applies to a lot of things, and it's not actually taking an action like with a marker. It's actually like starting a sequence of attacking steps.
Yep. And so all of that allows attacks of all kinds from all sources to hit swarms. And then they are, just to reiterate, immune to life gain, so they do not gain innate life at all from like Ethereal Life Tree.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
those are the two clarifications thus far.
Honestly, a lot of these clarifying rules rarely come up in games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we even had to look at any of these rules in the last tournament. It was just...
No, I think it was just mostly like corner cases where this happens.
Yeah, the Channeling 10 is probably the biggest change to the game that in the rules section that we're making.
Yep, in that case, it'll actually affect everybody.
Yep.
So
yeah. So,
yeah.
I guess if you guys are interested, you can sign up at arcaneduels@gmail.com.
Yes, send us an email.
There is a Discord that I'm going to actually post on the Arcane Wonders forum and on the YouTube, where it's just the community gathers and just talks. We have a channel there where people can chat about the tournament and stuff like that. I'm just, in general, just hoping for an awesome stream, or awesome tournament, I mean. I'm hoping to stream these awesome games.
Yeah, there'll be some good games about it, or from there too. Last time we saw some really good ones, and it was really beneficial to see how people prepared to, or it was really fun to see how people prepared for mages when they already knew what was coming and who was playing them. I thought it opened up a lot of interesting strategies.
I just want to put it out there that I know some of the big players in the last tournament said that they're busy because of school or work this tournament. So if you're looking to sort of get on the ground floor, check this out. Seriously,
newbies are welcome.
It is seriously something we're looking to get a good amount of players in. And so I mean,
Absolutely.
It starts as a round robin, right? So you're guaranteed to get a certain number of games in. I think it's 3 or 4 games. So even if you lose your first match, you're not out of the tournament at all. And it's just kind of fun to play. Yeah.
All right. Yep. So, yep, like you said, round robin is big. Actually, we had a lot of. I mean, there were very few groups that actually ended up with anybody undefeated. So, I mean, there were very few people in the last one that ended up undefeated. So, it was a good set of rounds, and the first loss won't knock you out.
It's true. I did want to point out at the end of this that we are choosing not at this time to modify Ritual, Calic, or Pillar of Righteous Flame. We just want more data. Basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of data involved in that one, and keeping that data separate from the 10 channeling is really why we're doing that. Why we're not doing anything on that one too.
That's fair.
Right, so
they're good spells. Try them out.
Yep. And now everybody channels 10, so you don't have to worry about everybody.
Yeah, right.
You can play the economy game, but everybody starts from the same place. So.
Well,
I think that about covers everything we needed to. Signups are open. They currently run through 28 September, although if we need to, we will extend that. Just if you see this and you think you're late, please send us an email. Let us know. We'll be glad to flex and get stuff going.
At arcaneduels@gmail.com.
Yes, arcaneduels@gmail.com. Remember again, email us at arcaneduels@gmail.com.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we do all of the signups through email.
Yep. All right. Well,
boys, anything else to cover?
It.
All right. Well,
if you guys are interested how the last league worked out, feel free to check out our previous playlists on our YouTube. There's some awesome games on there, and it's fun.
And I believe the first season still has the forum post with all the info on there too.
It should, yeah.
Should be links to everything. Yeah, and that about covers everything that I had to cover. So let's get some signups.
All right.
Sign it
Alright.
up. Sign it up. Yep.
I'm leaving Puddin with the last word.
Play more games.
Kill it
Love
with fire.
mentors.
Kill with fire.
That wasn't Puddnhead.
Yes, it was. Yes, it totally was.
Bye, guys.
Go for board control.